Welcome back to the podcast. Roll the intro.
Yeah, they call me a savage. How I'm putting in work. I hustle and grind, I put in the time, get what I deserve. Savage.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, bro, how are you?
Good, I'm good.
We good.
We got episode 27.
7, yep.
Good, we're ticking along back into the swing of things.
Swing of
Last week,
things,
I
bro.
felt a bit rusty at the start, but I sort of think it came good in the end. So
It was good. I enjoyed watching it, bro. I
yeah.
think a lot of people did too. Because I always get feedback after our episodes, and whether or not it's a good one or a bad one, it's still an episode, and we're still sharing the light.
Yeah. I don't cringe at myself as much as I used to in those first episodes watching, eh?
Listen to some of the stuff you say, the umming and the ahhings, and even now, bro, there's times where I'm like, mate, just shut up, Ches. Don't say
When you're
anything.
trying to explain things and then it's just not coming in your brain, you're like,
Just shut up, bro.
yeah, anyway.
What are we on today, bro?
Bro, we're going super left field, which last week was speaking about a show we used to watch, or we were watching at the time, Terminalist. It's a army sort of type movie, ex-Navy SEAL, someone kills his family, and then, and then that sent me down a bit of a rabbit hole myself.
What'd you think about the show first, bro?
Bro, mad. Chris Pratt?
Yeah, man. He just does really well.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
He does really well in that movie, bro. Like, I wasn't expecting that from him, because I think it's like, like you think Marines, Navy, and all that sort of stuff, you think it's pretty hefty. You got to be a good actor to act that sort of shit, but he does fucking mad, bro.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool way.
Mad. Like, my favorite part of the whole thing is when he's getting chased by his people, and plus the cops and stuff, and he's going through the terrain, and he's just got to lose them. That's it.
Yeah. That's definitely a good show, and everyone should watch it, but where we're taking it is we're sort of gone back to our days of doing our army camps and footy, which is
Take me back, bro. You go first.
me. So we did one at Holsworthy with the 2nd Commando Regiment. This was at Para 2012, and probably the toughest thing I've ever done in my life,
Okay.
physically and mentally. So
run me through it. Did you? Because like you hear stories of them surprising you. Was you expecting the camp? Did you know you were having it?
we knew we were having it. We knew it was super hard because the guys the year before had done it, but it was all the new guys this year for that squad had to do. The old guys who done it the year before didn't have to go. So sort of all the new guys, we didn't know. We knew it was going to be super, super hard. But, we didn't know what we're in for. It was very physically draining and mentally draining.
Yeah.
So
The
pretty much turn up on the bus.
Yeah.
And then someone just like, the guy just comes onto the bus and just like, get the fuck off the bus. And we're just like, what are we in for here? Like, it just sets the tone straight away. Bang, we get off the bus. And then I think we're straight into a workout, burpees, I don't know, everything straight away. As they're going through our bags, we're doing like plank holds or some type of conditioning. It's 10 years ago now, so forgive me if I'm the
memory's a bit short.
Yeah, so that was the first thing I remembered from that. And then they went through our bags and
What'd they go through your bags for?
because we weren't allowed to bring certain things. And definitely not a phone. And then the guy comes over and he's got a phone in his hand, and everyone's looking like, fuck, who bring their phone? Like, it was specifically told like we could only bring a certain gear list of things like a jumper or pants, and then they'd provide everything else. They go, who's this phone? And then the guy goes, it's me. I won't name any names. But I think, he had to jump up on a seat and hold the phone in the air and say, something like, I shouldn't have bring my phone, while all of us all around it just doing burpees. Continuously. And he's just with his hand up with his phone in his hand, or with his hand in the air or something like that. It's saying, I shouldn't have bring my phone or something.
I shouldn't have bring my phone.
And he had to keep saying that.
Oh shit.
But
what was the hardest thing that you did, bro?
So 2 things. We were there for 2 days. The whole thing was hard. We're only living on those ration pack food wise. They really tried to test you. I think one of the times you had to follow a guy took you, one of the commando guys took you into a room, sat you in a chair. It was like an interrogation room.
Mm.
And then he just said, wait for this. The next thing's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. And you're just sitting in this room like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen? Are they going to come in and like, you know, because the year before, I think they got things over their head and taken away. And we're like, oh no, what am I going to get tortured? Like, it's playing with your brain. But then they take you out and then they condition you like doing burpees on the mats, which make it hard to jump. Into I don't know, ropes, into ball slams, and just like trying to kill you physically. And then that night they do missions. I don't know, it must have been 2 a.m. in the morning where we had to carry a scenario of carrying food to a village, plus the water, so the jerry cans super heavy, and there's always too many jerry cans for you guys to hold, which is like you're like, oh man, like there's no easy way to figure it out.
Yep.
That was probably like a couple of hours walk to this camp. We get to the village, and then there's a chief at the village. He says, oh, thank you for the food. And then we open up the container. There's probably like 30, 40 kilos of rice in it. And it's white and brown rice for them. And then the village chief comes to us. The village chief comes to us and goes, oh, we only eat white rice. And we're like, oh, okay, so... Oh. And then he goes, can you separate the white and brown rice for us?
Fuck.
So we had to, this was 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. So we were like for hours separating white and brown rice. And we thought there was like a hack to it, or there was something to figure out, but there just wasn't.
There wasn't.
Yeah, it was just for you to do something mindlessly, super tired. Physically, we'd been pumped the whole day.
Yeah.
And then, we're at 2, 3 a.m. trying to like.
I've heard stories of people fucking
rice.
almost quitting from that, bro. Doing that part. Isn't there a story from Ben Teo or something when he quit?
Oh, I heard that. Sure, but we had one of those quit things in our pocket, so it's a form saying, I cannot no longer continue with this type of training. So you sign it and you hand it in, and then that means you can get out.
Okay. So that's like the bill. Yeah.
So we're doing that white and brown rice for maybe like an hour or two. Fuck. Super tired, and some of the boys were just nodding off like, oh no. And then plus they had the Arabic music just blazing as loud as possible in our ears too. So it was just like surround sound, just boom, 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 just really trying to mentally strain us. And that was the first night, but
fuck.
Give me a break from talking. You
fuck
tell me a little bit about it. And I've got another one too to go back to.
I went to two. The first one, first was with Roosters in 2000 and I'm pretty sure it was 2010. And that was Kangaroo Valley. And we had to carry canoes up a river. So it started like the creek or the river started like real short. We're like, oh, this is fucking all goods. But then getting towards like halfway, it started getting real deep and all that sort of stuff. And then it goes short and deep, short and deep. So you've got a crew of maybe 4 or 5 of yous, and there's teams of 10 of yous. And you're all just heading up this creek. And we finished off, maybe a couple of hours later. But then whatever equipment was in the canoe is the equipment that you needed to make your tent. So one crew had like the fucking doozy tent. I'm pretty sure that was Big Mossy's. And we just had like a bunch of fucking old, pretty sure it was like sheets and shit, bro. And I'm just looking at it going, fuck. So we had to stay overnight just one night. So it wasn't the worst one out of the 2 camps. Kangaroo Valley wasn't that bad. But in terms of like longevity and long distance, like all the stuff that we did was just long, bro. So we had to run up that fucking long creek. We had to set up our shit. We had that one long night. And then we pretty much, the next day we did the same things and just headed back. So it was only about 28 hours or something like that. But it was, it was pretty nonstop. But during the night, this is the best part of it. I remember as we were finishing off from the creek, and everyone's pulling their canoes in. Anyway, everyone starts looking at themselves and they're like, fuck, I've got ticks on me. So everyone's pulling off their ticks. And then Mitchell Pearce has just gone to his. He's gone and lifted his pants up, bro. There's one literally stuck on his balls. So you had to pull the cunt off, and then and obviously we had to set up for our night. But yeah, that was the Kangaroo Valley one, bro, and that wasn't too bad. But we'll touch base on the next one that we did. So what about you, bro? What was the other hardest?
Fuck, there's one more before that actually.
Break it down.
So this was a quick one where I think they just came in after we had been sitting down and got a little bit of a rest.
Yeah.
And they just went, get your packs on, because there was so much gear we had to put on in a certain type of way, like our belts, our webbing, and then our pack. Make sure we had our helmet on at all times. I don't know if we had a rifle with us that we had to keep, like a plank of wood or something.
Yeah.
And then they said, gas mask on, and we had a gas mask.
That's right.
I
remember this.
Bang, and then they went around the plane and back, and there was a plane. Was it a plane or something? Way down, maybe 1 or 2K away, around that plane and back in your gas mask full on, and like you can't breathe in that thing, And it's like,
that was a fuck,
and it was on a time, and we're running back, and then we go around the plane, and then we come back. We check in, and then people come over after the time, like go again. We're like fuck, because that was nearly like
bro.
Short of breath.
We had those gas because that second camp that I went to, I didn't do everything that was didn't do everything that everyone was doing because I'd just come back from my knee.
Yeah.
So that 2010 camp, the Kangaroo Valley one, that was like the start of the knees.
Yeah.
So the back end, so I was like kind of half cheering. I'm like, fuck, I get to miss out on this one. But at the same time, I still had to do the bare minimal. Bro, the boys are doing the gas mask shit. They were doing like, I'm pretty sure we did a beep test in it. We got locked into this gas chamber, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, this is fucked, bro. I had to put my head on the ground just so I could breathe properly. I was getting claustrophobic. But everything that they had to do was with those gas masks on, bro. Those things are fuck. You cannot breathe in those things, cuz. There's a fuck.
And then after the second, I think maybe after the first one of the guys pulled out his paper. So that's enough. I won't give names, but he pulled out his paper, and then when he's walking up, everyone's like, fuck, or like really ripping him, like, you don't fucking quit on us sort of thing. So it felt like, it was sort of like that. And then he's like, fuck, and he gets back in.
You got back in there, yeah, that's all right then, bro.
Like, fair enough. And then we had to go. Then they were like, bro, no mercy on these dudes, bro. Like, go again, like, nothing. Bang, ran around the thing, and we all got back. And then, yeah, that was one of the things. And plus, we did all cool things. We did like abseiling.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're allowed to say some of the stuff we did. Some firearms, but, we did some cool shit anyway. That's cool. But
did you go through the obstacle course? Did you do that as well?
We did. That was the second after the first night in the morning.
We would have done the same.
Fucking the worst thing when you get wet, because there's puddles, and when you're wet you get super cold and you start shaking.
Yeah.
Then that's tough in itself as well.
Yeah, bro.
And we're doing like laps of it, just it was ridiculous. But then the hardest thing was the last night. I think we started around 9 p.m. in a pool. We're doing all these like drills where your partner's holding onto your legs, and you got to go back into the water. And then you're only allowed to come up when you get a tap, so you don't know when you're allowed to come up. Which
fuck off.
Yeah, so it's pretty. They didn't go super super long, but you just in your brain, and you're tired as like. Yeah, so you had to go back.
So holding your legs on the side on the edge of the pool, you're saying?
Yeah, and you go
so like
backwards.
like a sit up.
Yeah, like a sit up, and then when they say down, you go down. Back.
Okay.
And then then they say up, and your partner taps you on the leg, but you don't know when they're gonna say up, so you're like, bro, what are they gonna do? Like all these things going through your head. And then we're doing burpees in the sand pit, shit like that. We got a shower after that in all our gear, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was freezing as, and we're just going. Like there was one shower head, and there's like 5 people, so like going around like shower, walk around, shower, like going in a little circle, trying to get our wash. And then I think we got dry clothes on, and then we had like a march around the camp where we carried a boat, logs, artillery type things, a stretcher. One of the boys got injured, so we had to carry him around the whole night. But the boat was a funny one because there was maybe 4 or 6 people on the boat, and you knew when someone was having a bit of a rest because you'd feel that weight just be
feel the weight on their side,
and then you just swear your head off like, take the weight, like someone, take the weight, because you're
take the weight, you fucking weak cunt.
So that went from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, like 9 hours of just going, starting in the pool,
constantly doing something.
Yeah, we probably had 11 and just going around the camp. And then the good thing was by the end of that, when we came back to where we were sleeping or where all our stuff was, sort of our home base, the soldiers clapped us in, and it was sort of the end of it. And then you could tell from when they first started, when they told us to get off the bus to the end, their demeanor sort of changed.
Yeah.
You know, tough as at the start.
Yeah.
I think like on the first day they were like, you big cunt, you're useless, and like, you know, trying to test you that way. And then by that last night they were like, yep, keep them going, keep the boys moving, you know, more of an encouragement type thing. And that was really cool.
That would have been cool, bro. Because if you think about it, right, like we think about our trainings in footy and all that sort of stuff, and there's nothing worse sometimes than just getting hammered all the time. But then, you know, if they do see you putting in the effort, know that you're working hard, that encouragement's always important as well.
Yeah, and it's sort of like you've earned their respect by what you've
bro.
sort of done over those 2 days.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that was a real cool thing to finish that up. And I think I lost about 5 kilos.
Yeah, that's a good point too, bro. Because I remember Dewey, Todd Carney, they were all, our rations weren't big enough. Pretty sure Smitty fucking put up a stink, bro, because they had all this shit planned for us, and I'm pretty sure like they cut it down to like 75% of what they normally do. But it was based off the fact that a lot of our players were losing too much weight because those guys were trying to gain during preseason and all that sort of stuff. So that doesn't surprise me. You saying that you lost 5 kilos? Yeah,
less than 2 days too.
Yeah,
it was just so much work that we're doing and not much food. We just had the ration packs.
Well, I remember the Kangaroo Valley, bro. I think that was the start of when I was just fucking shredded, bro. Like I was 104 kilos. Yeah, the camps are normally like back end towards like Christmas time, right?
Yeah.
So you finish that off and then you have Christmas, bro. Yeah, I remember I was pretty fucking jacked up.
Sort of at the end of the first block of preseason.
And like you do those camps, you just get shredded as, bro. Because you hardly eat anything. And if you do anything, bro, it's just high carb. Just goes straight in you and straight out of you.
Yeah. Any other stories from camps?
No, that was it for me, bro. That was that was the second one. We went to Holsworthy like you as well. And all the stuff that you've already said, we experienced it. And then, like I said, I was injured, so I wasn't doing too much. But I think the point that you made before about they're just trying to fuck with your brain is a massive one, because it brings us back to what we're doing right now, and there's lots of excuses in that coming out. And I think
how hard's hard,
how tough is tough.
Yeah,
and like we spoke about it before, and I was sitting out there and I was sort of kicking myself because I'm like, bro, when I used to work at the gym or when I used to do that, but then I think, fuck, when I used to be playing footy, all the shit that we used to do, like army camps and that, bro, like, fuck, those things are fucking hard as.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What am I doing right now?
I think, well, if you put tough, you'd have like those elite special forces guys there.
100%.
I don't know anyone sort of doing tougher stuff than they would have to do, because if you go back to the selection courses that they have to do, we did 2 days. They do, for the New Zealand one's 7 days, the SAS course.
Fuck off.
And the Australian one's 21. No, the New Zealand's 9 days and the Australia one's 21 days.
21 days of that shit?
Yeah, and they do all like, way worse things.
Okay.
They'll do stuff.
So do you know if Holsworthy's the main place that they do all that?
Nah, I don't think it is. I think it's more of a training.
Okay.
Where you do your training maybe after. Not too sure on that. You'd have to double check. I think it's a camp where maybe after they've done the selection, they would come back and train up that last. I think even after your selection, you still have to go through maybe a year or 2 of training before you can actually call yourself either a SAS or a commando in itself. So like that's a whole nother level. And I think a lot of them have said that it gets harder after the selection. That's just to get in.
Yeah.
And I think it's just good to see, even myself with my training, I'm like, it's not that tough.
No, not at all.
When I think it is hard, then Yeah, it's just a good reminder that there's levels to this.
Can only imagine what those guys go through, put themselves through all the time.
And it's cool to, watch a few videos on that
Fucking
stuff.
oath.
I went through a deep dive on YouTube. I watched the Way of the Warrior series on the Australian one, which was cool.
Way of the Warrior.
Yeah, it's like a selection, the Australian selection. It's pretty old, but it still shows what they go through. And
We had a young kid when I was out at the gym, AZGHQ. We had a young kid, his name's Will, and fuck, bro, like, you think about the sort of guys that are living and breathing that life. Yeah, this kid certainly had all the mixes of it, and I'm pretty sure he just got into the army just recently, and I'm not too sure what he's heading towards, what avenue, but yeah, he just loves that shit too. So it's pretty cool.
finish up.
Yeah,
That was a good little rant on some of our sort of training we did. And
army days, bro, they always worked out. Definitely made us tougher.
Yeah, it's the toughest thing I've ever done. So
that's it, my bro.
wait on, I got my quote. So we
yeah.
got these badges after we had finished a camp,
Mm-hmm.
and the quote on the back's a real good one. I've kept it because it's sort of reminds me of the hardest thing I've sort of ever done. So, for the strength of the pack is the wolf. For the strength of the wolf is the pack. So, individuals, teams working together. Strength of everything.
Like that.
Got one? Are you done?
No, I'm all good, bro.
Shot, bro.
Shut
Done.
us.
Yeah, they call me a savage. I'm putting in work. I hustle and grind, I put in the time, get what I deserve. Savage.